yes, you'd get a very many links from my following of 400 people.
The channel is getting up there though, girls. I think you're gonna have to do some sponsorship spots for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that. I want to get sponsored by some sex toy companies.
Sex toy companies?
Mm-hmm. Jack's like,
not a bad idea, actually.
No, I'm not. I'm fine with it. Or alcohol.
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
There's actually a lot of like my one friend who makes YouTube videos. She does like sex related YouTube videos. I don't know, but she gets like toy review and all that shit and like deals or whatever. But like she actually gets paid quite a bit of money on them, and like she doesn't have like a gigantic following. So I don't know.
It would be fun to do like a parody of that. They send you like one of those things that are vibratory in nature, and you'd be like, what do I do with this? And find out like 10 or 15 different things you could do with it that aren't even sexually related.
Give each other a shoulder massage.
Yeah.
It'd be such a good channel. I would watch that all day long.
It's actually, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Use it to like stir a drink or something.
People use like the clit stimulator because it like sucks. So if you put it on like your forehead, it'll like give you a hickey, but you can like give yourself like forehead kisses.
That's the look that Jack just gave.
Or weird.
Do you like remove blackheads with that, or like?
I know.
That's what I thought. That's where I thought you were going with that.
Yeah, me too. I have not tried. I'll get back to you.
Skin treatment.
Microdermabrasion.
Speaking of beauty and stuff, I'm doing haircuts in our neighborhood. We have a buddy coming over at 8 p.m. to get a haircut from me.
No.
Yeah.
Who?
No
Josh?
word of a lie. Talty.
Like with shears, or you're just gonna like buzz that shit off?
Well, I do both, but mostly I do really shitty fades.
Wow. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New business venture.
I don't know. We are a little late, man, because like hairdressers open up like next week or something.
Mm-hmm.
He can't wait. He's got a hot date with an anime girl or some shit. So
it's fucking kawaii pillow or whatever.
I'm so curious if I ripped these or if they came like that. Josh is recording already. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we've been recording this whole time?
On the record.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you get my forehead kisses on the record?
Yeah, we got some good fucking content already, girls. Jeez.
Oh, I thought we were just like
I thought we were
hanging out. I'm like, what are we waiting for? Okay. Shall we
Welcome
start
back
for realsies? Yeah, okay.
To Two Girls, One Broadcast featuring Long and Hard. Because last week it was Long and Hard featuring Two Girls, One Broadcast.
I like this turn of events.
Yeah, there you go.
I do not.
Shocking.
So yeah,
Shocking.
back with episode 2 of Boys versus Girls.
Yeah.
Why did you have so much confusion in your voice? There's only 2. It's not that hard to keep track of.
Yours?
I can't even count to 3
Josh.
most days, bro.
Yeah.
Josh
is like,
thought it was directed at her.
2? Sorry that I've conditioned you when I use a condescending tone.
So someone's getting made fun of. I'm like, what did I do? Anyway.
Okay.
Welcome back. Glad to be here.
Oh, glad to have you guys.
You guys really had to go far from your living room couch, so.
Yeah, we're all the way upstairs in the bed.
Oh, I know that Tommy's in his bed tonight too,
so. As you can
change
see here,
of pace. It's a very sexual episode.
Get on board, Josh. You should be in bed. Slacking.
Yeah, this will be the bedcast now.
Oh,
what?
like this.
Bedcast.
Shall we start? Just jump right into it, as they say.
Jump.
Okay. Right. These are your guys' points. So I don't know. Do you want to start us off here?
Okay, so the first one we wanted your opinion on, a little open from the boys, is having people on the back burner or on the bench when you're dating.
Okay.
When you're dating is the qualifier with this?
Yeah, like obviously I would seriously hope that if you have a significant other that you are committed to, you don't have people on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a point to that, but you guys go first.
So does on the bench mean you're like semi-actively talking to them, etc.?
Yeah, like you're talking to like multiple people, or maybe you're like more so talking to one, but you've still got like a few other ones that you're entertaining in case the first one doesn't work out.
Gotcha.
And you're like in a full-on relationship with this person?
No, my
Okay.
was based around like just when you're dating, but then I think Jack
Right.
a part else that she wants to know about after. I don't know.
Dating can be a very heavy word sometimes, so
Seeing people.
Yeah. Well, I think in this day and age, like everyone's sort of seeing like at least
5-6 people. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 2 or 3, if not more, but
yeah.
So, yeah, I think that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think again it differentiates between seeing somebody and like full on dating them, because obviously if you're dating someone, you're official, probably shouldn't be doing such things. But if you're just seeing somebody and it's, I don't know, you're like 3 dates in, I don't see why you wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, there's almost this weird impasse too with 2020 dating of like everyone sort of knows that you're probably talking to more than one person, but like it's almost like an elephant in the room at the same time, and everyone just sort of accepts those terms of engagement,
I mean, I think that's fair, because like especially if you're on a dating app, like you're going to be messaging multiple people, because like it takes a while to kind of feel it out and see if there's actually a connection there. Like usually you don't start talking to somebody and go on a date with them the next day. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah. And I feel like it's almost a reactionary thing where sometimes you kind of do that and have people, you have the bench or your lineup or whatever, because everyone else is doing it. So you don't want to put too many eggs in one basket, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird self-fulfilling prophecy sort of thing. Like it's a system that creates itself, you know what I mean? Which
it is weird.
May or may not be bad, but it's kind of a weird byproduct.
Yeah, like it's an interesting feeling to be like talking with someone and feeling like you're vibing, but you're still getting messages from other guys that you're probably replying to, and then like that they're probably talking to other girls at the same time. Like it's kind of bizarre.
But everyone also has their like starter, backup, really on the back burner, right? Guys and girls.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Right?
Like you probably like there's always going to be someone who you're like more excited to talk to or meet up with.
Yeah.
Right? So.
And there's always going to be those ones that are like way on the back that you really only use for like attention.
And
maybe in our case, I don't think
we heard it here. Series over. That pretty much. I think we have broken through to the base of all of this.
Katie's dying now. I mean, I was being so judgmental, and then I just.
Is that Corona?
No, I got tested. So I think.
Yeah, you had a point. Dad?
No, so like when you're seeing people, you don't owe shit to anybody. Is basically I think.
Okay.
So unless you've had the conversation about being exclusive or deleting your dating app or whatever, like you're free, I think, to do what you want. When when I think about being in a relationship and having a bench, like there's probably at least 1 or 2 people that I could be like, oh, I'm not in a relationship anymore. And that to me is like a bench. Do you get what I'm saying? Like gotcha, I wouldn't entertain them during the relationship, but they're there. Selfishly, I know they're there if I ended the relationship, needed someone. So to me, that's a bench, I guess, when you're in a relationship.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Is like people you can go to for like, hookups when you're heartbroken.
Mm-hmm.
This is true. Yeah.
First you get your main chick. She can meet the family. Then you get your side chick. She can't meet the family.
But that's always the one that gets knocked up. So explain.
Yeah.
The GF's in the other room. She's mad at me already.
Hi.
Fuck. Yeah, no, that's a good point, Jack. But I think everyone kind of has those level of, I mean, orbiters is what they're called in some circles, right? And like,
Oh.
it depends how, right? It depends how active they are, though, right? Like, some of them will be like kind of scheming and conniving, and usually that's boys towards girls, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think people, to your point, if you're not really like, it's kind of inevitable if you just sort of have those people who are in that, you know, spot, right? Like, it's not really your fault if you're not really like nurturing it or whatever in a relationship. That's fine. Like, it's kind of on that person versus you, right?
So, an add-on to this, how do you like? What is your perspective? Because I know you two are very like wholesome guys. And I would just like to know, because like there are people in the past in my life who have known that I've been in a relationship and they're like, I don't care. And I'm like, but how do you not care? Or like if you go on a trip, for example, like we've gone to Vegas and we both have been in relationships and people will hit on us and we'll be like, we have boyfriends. And they're like, well, they're not here. Now, that doesn't mean that I can have sex with you. Like, yeah. So I don't know if you guys can speak to that because I'm sure you don't do that, but there are guys that do. And like, I don't understand why they don't care.
What's the saying?
Maybe, but like if you have a friend who, or like somebody you know.
What's the saying? Just because there's a goalie, doesn't mean you can't score? Is that the saying, Tom?
I have not.
Yeah, I believe that's the conventional wisdom.
Of course, it's going to be a hockey saying.
Yeah. Honestly, though, like I think that's just sort of the male brain. Guys are like that, right? Like, you might as well try. Like, you never know, right? So
true. Maybe
yeah.
she's mad at him
100%
that
of the
night.
shots you don't take.
Yeah,
Would
yeah,
you-
exactly, right? So
Would you not care though that like she cheated? I don't know.
She probably wouldn't tell me.
But
No,
like
if you
you
were the
knew
guy.
that she was in a relationship and you
Yeah.
were hitting her.
If you were the other guy.
yeah.
Generally, I think if you know they're in a relationship, you probably should steer clear.
Well, yeah, but there are guys that don't.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
I mean,
it's the thrill of the chase.
Yeah, I think you're probably onto something there. But also, I mean, in a vacation destination, like if you go there as a
Yeah, they
single
don't give
dude,
a
like
fuck. Yeah.
you're from some other part of the world, they don't
Mhm.
care, right?
Yeah,
But
that
no.
I can see that,
But conversely, when it's at home, if you will, yeah, I mean, I'm just the type of person who doesn't do that, right? So
yeah, I know. Like, I guess that's why it's kind of hard for you guys to say, but
yeah.
I mean, just a male brain.
Well, because I look at it from two perspectives of like, one, obviously, I'm like to think I'm a half decent person, so I don't do that. But I'm also very like, I try to be time efficient. So it's like, if like, it seems silly to go after a chick who's in like a committed relationship. Like, you're just going to waste your own time. Like, why bother? Maybe there's an inherent laziness to it as well, right? So
I don't know if that's laziness or maybe it's like,
or it's like, this is the ultimate conquest, is like stealing your girl.
Maybe. Yeah. Josh, you've been quiet on this point. What do you think?
Well, there's obviously some phenomenon about it, because in all the rap songs, it's like, I fucked your bitch. But
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. I don't know. I personally, if you, the way to avoid it is know less people. So if you don't know her and don't know her status, single or dating, it's not your fault.
well, I guess if you didn't know, like
So
there's instances where people have been like, even in movies or whatever, like they'll hook up with someone and then realize after that they're in a relationship and they're like, fuck you.
So just don't ask questions that you don't want the answer to. That's the advice we're taking from this segment.
I would feel that it's on the other party that is in a committed relationship to make it known in a timely manner.
This is true. This is true.
Contractual speak here, in a timely manner that they
have written notice.
Yeah, spoken for, and are unable to join you in coitus.
I
Alright.
do agree with that.
So you could sum up. I
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
All right.
It's not on me coming into an interaction. It's on the person that's in a relationship to make it
Yeah,
known
if
that
you
they're
don't
in a
know.
relationship. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Well, Jack said something. What the
Did?
heck?
What did I say?
Yeah, you said something that made me want to ask another question, but I don't fucking know.
Oh.
I don't remember. Next question we had was, okay, so I wanted to ask this question from personal experience since I
Okay.
be on dating apps. There are a few different types of guys when they're asking you out. There's the type of guy that want to take you to dinner right away. There's the type that just wants to meet for a drink or coffee.
Smart.
And the guy that says, come over to my place.
Also
guy
dumb.
that wants
Arguably
you
dumb.
to come,
Yeah.
the guy that wants you to come to their place for the very first time you've ever met them. There's no explanation for that other than they just want to fucking chuck, right?
Pretty much.
Probably.
What normal person wants to have a first date in their living room with someone they have never met? And also who is dumb enough as a female to go to a man's place that they have never met before? Me. I was on that. Me.
Yeah.
And guess what? That was what he wanted.
Yeah, no, that's I don't know. I think you nailed it there, right? And you know, if that's your strategy, like power to you, right? But you're gonna have to get a lot of no's before you get a yes, right? So
Yeah.
I know a lot of girls that have entertained this. So like I've had girlfriends that have told me they've been on Bumble or Hinge or whatever, and they're like, yeah, I've been talking to this guy for a couple weeks and he just invited me to come over after dinner for a glass of wine tomorrow. I'm like, don't go unless all you want to do is fuck him. It's not a normal first date.
no, I've heard some stories out there too, where like they live in a really shitty part of town, and you know it's a bad idea, but you just find
You go
yourself in your
anyway.
car anyways. Yeah.
Oh God.
I was once talking to this guy and he lived like not far from us, and he was like, this was the first day that we were talking, and he was like trying to plan a date or whatever for like a couple days from the day we were talking, and I was like, okay. And then he changed his mind and wanted me to come over that night, and I no, I'm not going to. And he was like basically begging me for like an hour, and I was like, brah, I'm not coming over, like I don't know what you don't understand. And then he stopped talking. I'm like, this is a prime example of why you don't go to someone's house on the first date.
Yeah.
Evidence right there when you say no, and then they stop fucking talking to you because you didn't put out.
There is nothing like almost no bigger turnoffs as a woman than a guy being like overly forceful with something like that. Like I'm like, I don't even want to meet you anymore.
Oh, he literally started dirty talking.
Yeah.
You start
Can you come over
dirty
now?
talking someone within like 48 hours of starting to text them.
Yeah.
Like you need
No.
therapy.
Maybe a little too strong. Yeah.
I like coffee because it costs about $4 to $7.
Yeah.
And if you hate each other, you can leave immediately.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's my take on it.
Yep.
I don't mind drinks, but it's a more investment than
I'm kind of with Josh there, and I actually used to more like lean towards drinks or drink just because it felt more adult. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
But then I kind of realized like, okay, coffee is exactly like Josh said, way cheaper and about the same atmosphere of like getting a drink somewhere, right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good
Well, like if
casual
you go
way
for
to meet
a
someone.
yeah, and if you go for a drink somewhere, it's like loud in there.
Depends where you go.
Old person speaking, but
You gotta know where to go, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have a preference either way. Like I wouldn't care if a guy asked me to go for coffee or like go for a drink. Like either way, I'd be fine with it. The first date as a meal thing freaks me out because I'm like, I eat in front of you while I'm trying to talk to you.
We're on your side there too.
Oh, absolutely. And this is generally good advice for men out there: is don't do dinner for the first date. It's too much like to the antithesis of drinks or coffee. It's too much commitment, too much time. You're kind of like stuck there, right? And then also there will be awkward silences because you're eating and stuff. I don't know it. And as a guy, that can get pretty expensive pretty quick for you too, right? So
question for the girls though.
Yeah.
Have you ever used a guy to get a free meal?
No,
Good question. Good
I
question.
haven't. And I
Okay.
also, like, if I've ever gone on a first date with a guy, even if it was for like a beer, and I was like, we're not hitting it off, like, this is not going to be a second date, I will always try to pay. Because I'm like, no, this isn't going anywhere. Like,
Do you think that's like an indicator people could use?
if a girl tries to split with you, I think that's good. That's a good indicator. If she's trying to like pay the whole bill, you're probably never going to hear from her.
Oh, really? Interesting. Like aggressively wanting to pay it?
Yeah.
How
He's
about
like-
you, Jack?
I haven't. I don't think. I was trying to think back. No, I like went on a date with somebody that I saw a few times, and then right after that date, we didn't see each other again. So I'm wondering, he may think that I did, but it wasn't my intention.
It just happens. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes you're going to go on a date
I'm
with
hungry.
somebody and you're going to be like, I don't want to fucking see this person again. There are bitter guys on dating apps too, though. Like, their literal profile will say, I will not take you for a meal until we are official because I know all you bitches are just using us for free. Who? What? I mean, I'm sure it's possible, but like,
Oh yeah, no,
I know they
there's some there
exist.
who are like, yeah.
have you guys ever sat through a bad date? Do you know how long a meal takes? You would have to sit there for 90 minutes with someone that you absolutely hate just to get a free $15 like ahi tuna salad. It's not fucking worth it.
Well, that's what, if you're using them for food, it's not because you like them, it's because you want food. And why would you want to sit through that?
Mhm.
Yeah, fair.
Not worth it.
Yeah, no.
Unless they're taking you to like Vaughn's and they're ordering like a $300 meal with like a bottle of wine, appies, pre-drink cocktails, like might be worth it. Maybe.
But men, you should be suspicious if that's what she suggests for the first meetup. So
Yeah.
And I would do lunch over dinner too,
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I'm
Interesting.
really thinking about it.
for sure.
Intriguing. Expand on that, Joshua.
Well, because if you go for lunch, it's kind of more like during your day type of thing, and you're probably going to go for lunch anyway.
I like it. Actually, that's good. Yeah, it's
So-
it's quite casual. You do have to get on with your day afterwards. Like it's a little more light and breezy. That would be that's a good way to do it. Maybe as like a second or third. Maybe that's an option if things are going well.
Whereas opposed to dinner, obviously, it's a little bit more of a
This is your evening. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably not doing anything after. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That is true, actually. That's a good point.
So I feel like it's always a good idea to have like a backup plan for later in the day, even if it's a lie. So if you want to get out of there, then you can. Like, yeah, I have a birthday party later. Because there are like those good dates that you have where they're like, I don't want this date to end. Like, let's go do something else. And then if, like on both sides, you both think that it's going well, then great. And then if one person, one's not, then you can say, sorry, I have plans.
Yeah.
I know the girls exist out there that do the whole free meal ticket, but
That's
been
work for a free meal.
it's been a while since I've fallen for that. I don't think I ever fell for it actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say proudly, me neither.
Are we moving on to the next question?
Oh, let me hang on.
Go
I
ahead.
thought of a story there that I kind of forgot about.
Oh.
Nope, I lost it. All right.
Damn it.
I did get one actually where like this one chick we were talking and the vibe was okay. We hadn't met yet. And then one day she was like, I don't remember what it was quite aggressive. Like, so are you trying to take me to Taste of Edmonton today? And I'm like, so you just decided your afternoon was free and I'm apparently the vehicle to get there. I'm like, sorry, I got work this afternoon or whatever.
Interesting.
You should have taken her
Almost
and
got
just
chummed
got
into
the
it.
fucking what's the deep fried squid called again? It's been a while since I've been to a restaurant. Calamari. Get the shitty calamari at Taste of Edmonton and teach her a lesson, bro.
Only get the
Do you think
shittiest food.
Maybe that was her way of asking you out?
Oh, we I don't know. We did hang out later actually, but I don't know. It was a weird kind of aggressive one, and I was like,
Interesting.
yeah.
I feel like girls gotta know their audience. if they're gonna do that.
Yeah, I feel
Oh, absolutely.
the audience that could have been well received, especially if like you guys had been talking about going out, but you had like made plans, and then finally if she was like dropped that line, then maybe it would be funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Girl game.
But exactly, girl game. As a guy, you should try to avoid the dinner and like don't put it in your dating app that you're like, oh yeah, all you hoes out here trying to get free dinner, no dinner before. Like just
Yeah.
don't say that and just don't entertain the idea, and you'll have probably a lot more chances. Because a
I
lot of
know.
I
girls
was
are gonna
gonna
look
say-
at that and be like, look at this fucking guy, right? Like
Any bitter
Yeah.
statement like that from a guy in his dating app, I'm like, I'm gonna X you even if you are the most attractive human I've ever seen. Like, there's no way.
yeah, I feel like that bitterness probably never works out super well for anyone,
No.
right? So it's very
Mhm.
off-putting because that's the first impression of you. So
Yeah, I'm like, it makes me feel like you already don't like me just because I'm a female. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Fair
Yeah.
statement, actually. There's some deep advice in that one.
Yeah. Some intrinsic things to think about there. Okay. Well, I think that's a good answer for that one. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I deleted this question, but on that note,
Mm-hmm.
about this last time, would you guys rather, we did talk about this, would you guys rather have a girl ask you out, or would you rather be the one to do the chasing? Did we talk about this?
Yes,
A
we did.
little bit, yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Check out episode 1 for the answers.
Yeah, there you go. Little Easter egg for you, because I'm a dumbass. All right.
There's many Easter eggs in that episode.
There are quite a many. The next thing we were wondering is another numbers question. Do you guys care
You
how
guys
many
have funny
previous?
faces.
Oh, fuck! I know I cannot.
Yeah.
Do you guys care how many partners your partner has previously been with? Is this a conversation you think needs to happen during a relationship?
Is this a question that I wrote?
No,
Oh,
Noah.
I'm assuming one of them. Yeah.
wait, what?
Oh, shit.
Sorry, I was having a side conversation
Yeah.
trying to add on to
We have a
that.
part dos to this
Yeah.
question also.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. I guess I'll go first, or you go first.
Yeah. Can we reiterate what the question was there? I got a little.
When you start dating somebody new,
Yeah.
do you want to know how many people they've been with you? Do you think this is like, or like
Yeah.
girl asked you,
So
like, how many girls have you slept
generally-
with before?
Do numbers
Gotcha.
matter, and do you ask a partner
Yes.
how many? Okay.
Okay.
Josh, go ahead.
Gotcha. No, I never ask. Eventually, they always tell,
Oh.
and then they ask, and then you're like, more than you, and then the conversation ends, and you go on to the next thing. That's my plan when it comes to that question.
What if it's not more?
Well, nothing good can come from that.
Josh!
Are you slut shaming?
Blah. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Stand by, stand by.
Quick, talk shit about them.
Did she lose her earphone?
They lost their earbuds.
She like pulled
for
it
people
out of my
listening.
ear.
Oh shit! I said something quicker.
Yeah. Thomas, what's your take then? Or
Yeah, Tommy.
we're gonna go.
I would say, is Katie just? No, she's taking her time. Okay, I thought she was leaving. So I would say it matters as much as you think it matters, right? Like it's okay if it's a big deal to you. It's okay if it's not for either person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of agree with Josh where, frankly, I used to be, when I was, not to be like back in my day, but when I was quite a bit younger, I definitely cared about it a lot more. And now I'm pretty laissez-faire about it, to agree with Josh. Like it will come up eventually, especially if you're getting more serious with someone. And I think it's important to know maybe eventually, like if you go really long term, but
why?
I don't know. It just seems like it is. I don't know. I wish I had a better answer to why, but I don't know. I feel like you want to know eventually about whoever it is you're dating. So
I've had a partner that was like, I don't want to know anything about your last relationships or any of that stuff. He's like, that's in the past. I'm like, oh, okay.
I
I've
mean,
never asked.
Yeah.
I was asked once, And way back then, my number was very low, and he still slut shamed me, so I will never answer that fucking question again. Because then it opens up the next question, which is how many dicks have you sucked? And it's like,
Oh, really? Is that the subsequent question, I guess?
Yeah, it just opens a can of worms in my experience. And like, I don't, like, to me, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't want to know how my partner has slept with, because even if the number was like 300, as long as they've been tested and they're clean and like now we're committed, I don't care.
Honestly, this is going to make me sound crazy, but it makes me a little bit like jealous. I don't know why.
It makes me jealous too, which is one of the reasons why I just don't want to know.
Because it automatically makes me think about like things done and like people they're with, and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to think about that because now they're just with me, and like I don't want to know about any of that they've done, and like it makes me spiral down a like internal hole, and I'm like, okay, I don't know, I can't.
I don't mind knowing like general things, like have you ever done anal before? Have you done this before? Have you tried this? Like, I don't mind that. Well, I don't want to know who you did it with.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to have that picture in my mind. I want it to be some faceless girl who doesn't exist anymore.
Nothing good can come.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's definitely Pandora's box that you're opening. So there's a bit of wisdom there if you can comfortably just not know or not care about it for sure, right? But and I mean that comes down to kind of your own security as a person, I suppose, right? But I also think like if I was gonna like all that said, if I was gonna there was someone I was gonna marry or whatever, I feel like I'd want to know. I don't know why, but I just feel the need to for whatever reason.
Morbid curiosity?
Perhaps societal programming. Who knows?
Okay, on that note then, is there an acceptable number?
I think all things are relative.
You guys and your fucking answers.
Is that Albert Einstein and his theory of relativity over there?
Yeah. I think every person's kind of different, and it depends on what your own experience is with that, right? So probably for comfort's sake, like maybe both partners should be at about the same number, give or take. I don't know, right? So
why?
I don't know. It seems to make sense, at least in my head.
I'm just curious, like
your
mind works. Like I'm not trying to be picking on you or anything, but like I'm curious about why, I guess. Because like, so I've had a partner, had to frame that while I said so. Had a partner whose number was quite lower than mine, like more than half, I'd say. And it doesn't seem to be an issue, or didn't seem to be an issue. So it's like, I guess it maybe just depends on the person, but you know, I also didn't outright tell them like while we were dating. It was just something that like they knew beforehand from drinking games and whatever. So
that's a good way of finding.
Low-key figuring it out.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I guess it would depend on the person, but like it's never bothered me, I guess. Yeah. Like number wise. So my other question.
Josh, do you want to, oh, sorry, Jack. I was just going to say, Josh, what do you have to say about that point?
Just like the question with regard to numbers, nothing good can come from this conversation.
You're right. It really doesn't.
Right. And I think, because everyone I think most people probably have in their own head, to answer your question, a number that may be acceptable to them.
Yeah, like some arbitrary
or that they're
number, though.
Comfortable with, right?
Yeah.
So is it arbitrary? Perhaps, but it's, I don't know. Everyone's different for that, and it is kind of Pandora's box, right? So
Okay, so can I go?
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying
what were you saying?
Part two. Have you or would you ask a new partner if they've ever cheated on someone? And Josh, please don't say that opens Pandora's box.
No. I mean, these are all great drinking game questions if you want to play that. And
it's a good way to find out, because we just out ourselves for everything under the sun when we play drinking games.
I should have like a giant piece of fucking tape over my mouth when I'm drinking. Then you'd have to start holding up fingers.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Josh. Sorry.
Well, I don't think you would. Well, you know what? I don't know. That's a very good question. I haven't really thought of that one too much.
So you haven't ever asked anybody?
No, I haven't. I have been asked, obviously, but I've never asked the question. So.
And when you were asked, you don't need to say the answer, but were you honest?
Sorry, what was that?
So when someone asked you if you've cheated, were you honest about your answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think it's fair if somebody asks you that question, no matter what your answer is? Do you think that it's fair for you to just kind of say, like, I don't think this is going to open up any kind of healthy conversation? Like, I just don't think that we should talk about this. Like, do you think that's a fair answer, or would that make you think like, well, obviously you've cheated then?
That does kind of sound like an admission of guilt in a way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I plead the fifth, meaning I'm fucking guilty.
Exactly, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's probably a good idea to know if you're obviously getting serious with someone, but to each their own.
So again, why? Are you of the mindset that once a cheater, always a cheater?
Tiger.
Sorry, Josh. What did you say?
I was going to say a tiger cannot change its stripes. No, it's I don't know. Again, I think it's a case by case basis.
Yeah, I was about to say I think it's contextual, right? So,
but then why would you need to know, right? Because if it's contextual, then you're automatically having this thing in your head about the person that they're going to cheat on you, but you're not even already giving them a chance to not cheat, right?
yeah. I don't know. There's not really a good answer to that because, I mean, the overlying theme here is that it's very much opening a can of worms on all of these.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of want that. You have that. It's normal to have that innate curiosity, especially when you're the context here is kind of when you're finding someone to date and be with. Like, you kind of want to build up that character profile and know who they are as a person, right? So it's
yeah,
normal.
and I do get that, but I do think that on the flip side, ignorance can be bliss, because like if they've changed who they are, like maybe they cheated like 5 or 6 years ago and they haven't since, like you don't really know, right? And so I think if you found out, and even if they had changed, I think it would still kind of be in the back of your mind and you'd be worrying. Josh, are you just reacting with emojis?
Why is Josh just showing emojis?
Josh has left the chat.
Yeah, just sending thumbs up.
I don't know.
I was like, has that been there the whole time?
I don't know if there's
an
answer to this question, because I'm like, if someone is like a serial cheater and they've like cheated on like 20 people in a row, all of their relationships ended after a few months because they just keep cheating and cheating and cheating. Like, I mean, maybe that would be something that you had the right to know. But I also like,
Would you not just kind of figure that out eventually?
And that's what I was gonna say. Like, if
probably
you're dating
show
somebody
signs.
and they're that fucking shady, like they're gonna show you how shady they are, and you've gotta. And that's the thing too, is like, just
Absolutely.
never cheated. You could have a 40-year-old man who's never cheated before and then have him cheat.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like, I do think that like you have to pay attention to patterns. Like, if there is something that's indicative of like a pattern that's been going on and on and on for years, and this person has like cheated on everyone they've ever been with, that is probably like cause for concern. And that's fair. But yeah, I don't think that I would ever ask. Like, it's come up in my relationships just like kind of naturally, and we've talked about it. Like, I've dated someone knowing that they cheated on their previous partner, and I never for a minute thought that he was cheating on me. Now, I don't really know. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's like Thomas was saying earlier, like everything is so contextual and it's such a case by case.
It's very much a dangerous game, though, whatever way.
It is.
Right?
But that's the thing,
yeah.
right? Like, either way, you're basically asking and opening that can of worms if you want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I would never ask personally. I would just not want to know, because it would like it would make me paranoid, I think. And I'd rather base my interpretation of like our current relationship on like how I feel about that person, how they treat me and how they make me feel, and like if I think that anything shady is going on, then like I kind of want to have like an unbiased look at that, I guess. I don't know.
I guess I'm like of the mindset that you should give people the benefit of the doubt, especially if like you do talk about that and they're like, that is old me, like it's been so long, whatever.
I've
And
learned
they're saying like, I've learned from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like they haven't and don't plan to do it again. You should give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But
that
it's
being
still
said,
a worry.
like, if it does come up and the person is like really nonchalant about it and just kind of like throws it away, like, yeah, I cheated on a few girls, then like that's probably a red flag.
Yeah, I think it would be the answer.
Yeah, it's totally in the articulation, I think.
Yeah, and on that note, it seems like a really strange question to ask, so it's probably would come up organically one way or another, I think.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
It's kind of like a credit card. They test your credit limit or not your credit limit, but your credit history. So maybe that's why they do it. I don't know. I've never asked the question again. So
Little
I
risk
haven't
analysis.
me neither, yeah. But yeah, I think that's kind of it that answers all of this is it's risk analysis perhaps in your own weird human way. So
I'm gonna hedge my risk.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do we have one more question for this episode?
We do have one more. I was gonna say if you're doing your life by that, or you're like hedging your risk, and that's how you base your relationship strategy, like you might miss out on. Right.
Maybe you're a robot then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last question, speaking of this whole risk strategy and like numbers and all of this, is it really a numbers game, or is there such a thing as the one? Do you guys think there's one perfect person for everybody out there?
Go ahead, Josh.
Oh, okay.
You looked like you're in deep thought there. So,
I think it's definitely there's the right one for you. I don't subscribe to the one methodology. I don't think that's. I mean, there's probably 1,000 ones out there, so it kind of becomes a numbers game to find the one, if that makes sense. Does that kind of make sense?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Yeah, that's kind of my take on it, because I think that you do have to put yourself out there in all things, not just dating, and good things come when you put yourself out there as much as possible. So, and then you also have as many options as possible as well. So,
hedging risk. But in all seriousness, I think, and just to give kind of the robot practical answer, but yeah, there might be a couple thousand people out there who, in theory, would be very compatible with you, right, in your personality objectively. But it's a matter of finding one that will work. But yeah, the the one soulmate thing, I'd say no, right?
Yeah, the Disney.
It's a little more scientific than that. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole Disney-esque.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like, if there isn't a soulmate, then how do people stay together for so long?
Because you found one of the several practical people out there to be with, and it's worked very well, right? So
Okay,
yeah,
all right, yeah.
I think you can have multiple soulmates.
Yeah.
It depends on timing too.
Polyamory.
No,
exactly. I agree.
That's not what I'm saying. But I think like you could meet someone who like
just grab my Book of Mormon over here.
They could have been
going up.
But you could meet someone, and based on like your current life circumstances or whatever, it just might not work out. If you had met them in a different time, like maybe it would have worked out. Like, but I don't think that there's only like one person for everybody. Like there's lots of people that you're compatible with, and as long as like both of you are like gonna work on it together, then I think that like any of those relationships should be viable.
Josh, you asked this question, right?
Yeah, I wrote this one in the old Apple notes.
Yeah. Oh no, that was I expected a more a different answer from you guys, actually, frankly. But
really?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the whole horoscopes thing and all that stuff.
Yes, I need to marry a Cancer with
Yeah.
a Leo rising.
A little more, star-crossed lovers sort of thing.
I do think there's certain people that are more compatible than others, but I also think that you can have like those partnerships that are total yin and yang, and you just balance each other out. So I think it
Really?
depends what people want. Yeah, like you see couples that are like very opposite of each other, and it works out. I think as long as you have like your values line up
Yeah.
and you like genuinely enjoy spending time with each other, I think that's all that you really need.
I'd say people are more complementary versus opposites, right?
That's true.
Like,
Mhm.
A somewhat introverted person is with an extroverted person who makes them more outgoing, more social, right? Like,
Yeah.
like it still has to be compatible that way, right? Because
Mhm.
like, I don't know, like attracts like if you are truly polar opposites with someone, you won't have anything in common, right? So
Yeah, you're right. It's like probably on a spectrum.
Yeah. I think underlying values is probably the most important thing, because that's really like, then it doesn't really matter how
Mhm.
opposite you are, but if you
Mhm.
have similar values, then you can probably make it work.
right.
Yeah.
Like if you have high value on having a family, but you like chocolate ice cream and I like vanilla, like we can maybe still work it out, right?
Yeah.
We'll be okay, probably. Maybe. I don't know. That
you
seems
just
like
buy
a
that
fucking hill to
tub of
die
like
on.
mixed ice cream that has both.
Don't get Ben and Jerry's Kit Kat ice cream. I just had it. Fuck
It's
Oh,
not
very
good.
big.
That's not
No.
good.
No.
Disappointment. Very big
Oh.
disappointment. So
I'm sorry for
How long
you.
have we been going for?
I mean, close to an hour?
Oh, fuck. Is that including our crap
No.
at the start?
A little bit.
I was like 45
Probably like
minutes,
40,
probably.
45 minutes.
Do you want more, or are you content with that?
Do you have any questions on the docket? We kind of blazed through these, but I feel like
Yeah,
there
we
was some
did.
pretty good ones.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean,
wow.
What did you say?
We both said I
What?
mean at the same time.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Okay.
What were you saying, Jack?
I was gonna say, I mean, I could go to the bathroom and pick another topic while I'm doing that if you want one more.
Noise.
All right, let's do that. Let's pause and
Okay, I
have
also
one
need
more.
to do that. What do you guys think of the statement that women like to make where we say, it's not what you said, it's how you said it?
God. Yeah.
I mean, I get it, because communication is not just what is said.
Purely words.
Yeah,
Glug,
it is
glug.
also glug glug.
Oh,
It's
sorry. Did that
also-
make a lot of noise?
Okay.
My
No,
bad.
it's okay.
It is also obviously body language, tonation, blah 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 blah. So yes, I do see that can be something.
Right. Thank you. I feel very validated right now. Thank you, Josh.
No.
That didn't
Do you say that a lot to people, Katie?
I try not to, because I know that it's like kind of a cliche now.
Uh-huh.
But there have definitely been like conversations I have had with significant others where I'm like, if you had worded this slightly differently or just said it with less of an asshole-ish tone, I would have took it a lot better. But now I'm just sitting here with my feelings hurt.
Well, do you say that in the moment, or do you bring it up like 4 days later?
You guys
I'm
do
not
the same
criticizing.
shit.
I'm trying to have a
Men
conversation.
do the same shit. Men will sit on something they are mad about for fucking weeks before they break.
Not me.
Don't act like this is a
Yeah.
female thing only.
Not me.
Or how about, okay, so
Maybe I'm too moderately well-adjusted because I never seem to have these combos, or I'm just like a complete social idiot and don't pick
Same.
up on anything.
Same.
Either
It's
you're
one
a
or
really
the
good
other.
partner
And I
or
think
yeah.
Josh is the same.
I've been told I have no social awareness. Maybe this is it.
Really?
I'm not gonna comment on that.
Oh, okay, we love you.
The avid listeners will enjoy this. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay, so I was gonna add on to that a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Thomas, you and I have had this conversation. Like when your partner approaches you about something or whatever, and then like you guys say, well, I'm just not gonna bring it up because of how you react.
Oh my
Didn't you make a TikTok
God.
about this?
Yes.
You did.
Why, you guys?
I mean, this is a perfect example right here,
It
but
Yeah.
but like, okay, so just, you know, for advocate's sake, whatever, like you guys have done something that's like made us mad, and like we obviously are letting our emotions get the best of us, and so we're maybe not approaching it in the best way, because I know that everybody, I'm sure there are people that are guilty of this, like we're all human, so it happens. But why does that automatically mean that now you're just never going to bring anything up again because we react in the wrong way? Like it's completely unhealthy in my opinion. Like I get that you don't like how we react, but I also get that like now that means we can't talk about anything ever again because you just don't want to deal with me. Basically.
Well, see, I'm mature in relationships and
Yeah.
don't do that, so I don't know.
Well,
I would say the more general answer to that, because I can't say for me, because I mean, I don't think I've really done that, or if I have said something along those lines, I don't think it was unwarranted or unprecedented in that specific incidence, right? But like, I don't know. I think like Josh is onto something where it's kind of a maturity and your emotional adjustedness, right? Like, because you're kind of showing you're not willing to receive, I wouldn't say receive criticism, but
go. No.
Jack's kicking out.
Is it your cat or is it your dog?
The cat. This cunt of a cat. Out! Now the dog's in here.
Gosh, go.
Just go inside. Go. No. Oh my God.
Does your house not have doors, or
We let the cat stay in because normally she, out of the 3 animals, is the good one, but then she started scratching at the door. It's fucking
I'm so very sorry. I thought that was going to be nonchalant. We weren't going to have any problems.
It's all good. Or you just have no social awareness like I do, then you won't ever have to run into these issues.
I don't know. I think it just happens. Like we're. I mean, I'm guilty of it. Like I speak from experience, but like having a partner that's then like, yeah, well, you're crazy, so I'm not gonna talk to you about anything. Like, well, that's not healthy, and I guess we probably should just end this relationship now.
I was gonna say, like, there's really no hope of ever having like a productive conversation if that's the attitude on one end.
Truth.
Everybody is guilty of losing their temper and like maybe reacting in a not optimal way in certain situations. Like we've all been there, but yeah, like throwing like those kind of things, like saying like, well, I'm just not going to bring it up anymore, or like those kind of things, like there's no hope of being productive in the future if that's the kind of thing you're doing. And there's like some level of conflict in a relationship.
So basically,
I would say, guys,
mature yourselves.
Be more open, ladies. Be more receptive, and see if you can figure it out.
No, I would agree. And when you about this, you said the exact same thing. You said we need to be more receptive to like changing the way we deliver a message if it's not being received,
or even how we receive messages. Because I know I've been guilty in the past of like, if a guy brings up something that he's upset about, I have gone like very defensive and kind of taken the like, well, you did this first response, which is also not at all productive. And like, obviously I've seen where that has gotten me in relationships that now do not exist anymore. So I've tried to learn from those though. And that's the thing. Like, I'm 30 years old. Like I'm the old one in this group. So I've had some time to learn and mature. Like, yeah, I just hope that anyone listening, like, don't use those like overly defensive responses, I guess, when you're having conflict. Like, no one likes having conflict. It's never gonna be fun. If you enjoy it, like, that's scary. Unless you're like
might
the
be a
debate
psychopath.
the debate team captain. But like, don't debate with your girlfriend. Yeah, I don't know.
It's
You
just
know the best thing
thing from
that
what I'm hearing.
you know what the best thing I ever saw was?
What?
And it was like this advice from it was like an older couple or something, and it was like this post-it note, and it said, "Who wins in an argument? Nobody."
No one. Oh, no.
It was pretty.
I've
It's
also
pretty cute.
seen, instead of like looking at it like you two are against each other, it's you two against the problem.
Yes.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
healthy relationships.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than like your partner doing something shitty and you getting upset with them and then them being defensive towards you and then you overcompensating in your response to that and then you both end up having to apologize and that's fucking bullshit. Only one person should have to apologize. I'm kidding, but
Not really.
letting arguments
I can
spiral
hear.
out of control is definitely not a good thing.
Healthy relationships.
Yes.
Thank
Healthy
you for valued
relationships.
input,
Honestly,
you two.
I'm very impressed with the responses that you guys gave, especially to some of these questions. They might have been considered a little baity. So I wasn't expecting such mature,
Baity.
level-headed answers from you guys. So thank you. We appreciate you very much.
Yeah, you can't outbait the master baiters, I guess.
I knew something was coming.
Gosh. Fuck.
And that
I
is
think
a
it'll
clip.
show Josh's camera right now, unfortunately, but
Oh. What if you have it on the speaker view? Or no, the grid view or whatever it is?
You'll see it when it's recorded, baby. We got it.
did you do grid view today, Josh?
I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Maybe
We
I
did.
will.
No,
Well,
you guys
we did
did?
if you, yeah.
Okay.
If you,
Yeah, we did. I also think I might have
Perfect.
just showed my butt, so just use your discretion.
Tune in and find out.
Yeah, subscribe for all our premium
Yeah.
content.
$3
By the way,
per
check
month.
out my OnlyFans. We're having a sale this month. Just kidding. I've been tempted.
Isn't the traffic like way up on that site? Like that they saw like a record
Probably.
number of accounts created in like March and April or
Probably.
something. Yeah.
It's become a lot more mainstream. Everyone on Twitter has one,
Mhm.
except me.
I'm not on Twitter, so.
I'm the
You're
loser.
pretty big on Twitter. So.
Are you?
No, you are.
Oh,
Katie's
yes. I
pretty
have
big on
90
Twitter.
whole followers.
You got this.
Wow.
She
At a
holds-
2% conversion, that's like 0.85 of a person. So you might be able to do well.
Might be able to get like $5-6 a month out of that. It's all about recurring revenue streams.
I feel like a lot of people would hate subscribe to me, which is,
There you go.
which is
Yeah.
still a subscribe.
I know.
Yeah,
Sometimes
exactly.
you can DM the people. Like it's basically like Instagram, but for like bum bums.
Oh, God.
Oh
And
god.
on that note,
How to
Yeah.
describe something poorly.
Thanks for having us again.
Much appreciated.
Thanks for joining.
I
and
love our
bringing
conversations.
Almost all the questions. Maybe we should pull up our
Can-
socks.
Can you guys amp it up for next week and come back with more than we do?
yes.
I'd love to, but
Maybe.
my Call of Duty Kill Death, is doing pretty good right now, and I got to keep working on it. So
Okay,
we'll
well,
see
I
if
guess
find
we'll show
time
up
by
with no
next week.
content. Yeah.
What's
I
that
got you, fam.
thing on the Switch? Animal
Animal
Farm.
Farm.
Yeah, we have
Animal Crossing. Oh,
Animal Crossing.
Animal Farm. God. It's like your like dad being like, "Oh, are you playing with your Pokemans?" Like, Dad, it's Pokemon.
Yes, we have some islands to tend to.
Yeah.
So
Animal Farm. God. Okay,
You know
episode
what?
3 coming in hot next week. Thanks again, ladies. And yeah. Oh, and or if you're listening and want to hear our hot takes on something or hear the opposite sex's take on something, DM us your questions and do all the work for us.
Yeah.
yeah, we like that.
We love listener input.
Yeah, especially when men do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen often, but wishful thinking. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.